So, hi teammates, my name is Sean J. McCall, and for those of you that don't know me or know what I do here is a brief introduction before I go into depth about the combines. I played 13 years in 6 European countries. After retiring, I coached in Germany 9 seasons. I still live in Germany where I'm an educator at a school. I also consult players about European basketball as a player education specialist. I wrote a book called Same Name, Different Game for those of you who are interested in playing overseas as a guide to help you out a little bit. So enough about me. I want to clear it up that I am not trying to badmouth or trash any organization, combine, camp, summer league, or tour. That's not why I do anything that I do. And that's why I won't mention a specific organization. My intent for this video is to educate and help to protect players and help them see the signs that I see. It's every player's responsibility to do what they want, what they believe, things like that. I preach to players to do their due diligence, and you'll hear that throughout this discussion, and to check things out, even if it's about me. There's plenty of organizations that are reputable. You have to find the right one, that's for you, and ask questions. That's what I'm here for, to help you with those kind of things. First, I'll talk about some of the red flags that you must see as a player in order to make an informed decision on what camp is good for your particular situation. The first red flag to be aware of is the sheer amount of camps an organization offers. These are not agents that find players jobs. Let's make that clear. Agents usually have about 30 to 60 clients that they attempt to find contracts for, and they do this full time. If an organization has a lot of events, they cannot possibly offer quality for the amount of players that go through their events. That's normal. They don't have time to make and keep connections with European scouts or coaches for that matter, because it's not their job. Their job is to get as many players as possible into their camps. Let's be real. I'll explain another red flag that is connected to this now. Please look at the rosters of the players from former events. If you see that most of the players are guards, that should raise questions. Why? Because the camp is probably a money grab, in my humble opinion. Having a combine full of guards, a lot of them small guards, has nothing to do with basketball. And trust me, it has nothing to do with European basketball at all. No scouts, GMs, or coaches want to see run and gun basketball when scouting players. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. They want to see a player's basketball IQ, movement without the ball, and many other fine details that have nothing to do with seeing 4 point guards and 1 small forward go one-on-one against each other every possession. If you see rosters full of guards, then that camp is not very selective, which means they take players without regard of their playing level or ability. It's all about filling enough spots so that they don't take a loss financially. There are guards in America like sand on the beach. Try to find enough taller players to make rosters realistic. That's more difficult. And there's no way that they will be able to find 49 guards a job. Full-time agents would have a hard time with that. So it's unrealistic that so many guards on these rosters can expect a job, especially when they have another camp coming up a few weeks later. Another red flag that I especially find disturbing is what I call the funnel system. Here's an example. You pay money for a combine. Then the organization says, hey, you're pretty good. Why don't you register for our summer league going on in Europe? You then drop about $1,200 to register and then pay for your own flight to have 2 meals a day, or to pay for 2 meals a day for an event that's not very organized. So at the least, they're dropping about $2,000 to get seen. For those instances, you might get a contract for a team in Africa, which is under the same umbrella as the other organization. So you're paying a lot of money for your dream. I wrote about this in a previous post, but if an organization advertises to get players contracts in Europe, but their signings are all in Latin America or Africa, that makes no sense to me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting contracts in Latin America or Africa, trust me. But if you're aiming to play where the offer is advertised, then that offer must match the advertisement. There are very good camps that specialize in different areas or markets and different countries. Do your due diligence and find out where the one you're attending specializes. Next, let me answer or offer some questions to ask any organization before you sign up. How will your organization assist me in getting a contract? Will I get film? And are you sending my film out to other teams? Will you also be sending out my bio to teams and agents? Do I have to pay extra for extra videos? How many GMs and scouts will be in attendance? From what countries? Is there a live stream, or is there a YouTube channel or a portal where the games can be seen at any time? How many players were signed as a direct result of playing in your last combine? And lastly, please do yourself a favor and ask about the schedule of an event. Here's an example why. Usually a summer league will last between 6 and 7 days. You'll probably be guaranteed 4 to 5 games, maybe one practice. But seriously, is that enough? One game per day, and the rest of the time, what are you doing? Just chilling? In my opinion, that does not justify dropping 2 Gs, especially if it's an overseas event. And concerning these types of camps, there are other questions to ask, especially when they're overseas, such as who's the staff? Who's coaching these teams? Are the coaches experienced? I've personally heard of events where players were basically subbing themselves in and out. They had no practices or anything. So do you have someone who educates basketball players on European stuff, such as I do? If not, then you're going on a vacation with a little bit of basketball sprinkled in. So I think those are a lot of good questions to start with, but there's more. You're going to have to do your due diligence on your own. And we've already discussed looking at past rosters. But another thing you can do is to write former players of the camp. Players are genuinely honest when trying to help another player out. Write to many and see if the stories add up or are similar. That'll help you a great deal. And the next topic I probably should have said in the beginning, but it's important to know that you need goals. You have to know why you're attending a combine. Is it to play with peers to measure yourself in a similar situation? Or is it to get signed overseas? Or is it just for fun? Only you can decide, but it's important that you identify your goals before you register for anything. Your end choice must be in alignment with your goals. And in closing, I have seen some suspect camps where I've seen many red flags. As I've said before, I will not call them out because it's not my lane. I feel responsible for helping and educating players. I'm not doing this to badmouth any organization, combine, or anything like that. I only want to caution you players who are hungry and willing to do almost anything to fulfill your dream. Be careful not to be taken advantage of. If you become a client of mine, I will give you other information that you can work with. But even then, the work and the due diligence remains on you. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink. There are plenty of reputable organizations that are doing the best for the players. They're looking out for the players. But understand that no combine camp, organization, or anything like that can guarantee you to get signed. It's not realistic. You will be investing and betting on yourself, and no matter where you decide to go. There's a lot of information and resources these days, so don't just be impressed with various social media posts or savvy marketing when discussing about your future. Make sure that these are in sync with your goals. Yes, I offer paid services. I wrote a book, but I also offer free knowledge such as my Instagram page, this video, my webinars, my YouTube channel, and interviews with guests from around in and around the basketball world. My main priority is to provide valuable and useful information for my clients and for everyone actually. So yeah, let your friends know too if I can help. If you have any questions, just hit me up. That's it for now. Old Head out.